Go and grab your Bewear merchandise today. There are t-shirts, sweatshirts, phone cases, and more, all with the link down in the description below. You do not want to miss out. What's up, guys? It's Carson. I'm back here on Toxic Gaming today with Week 7 of the MPL, a major Pokemon League and stuff. We're going up against Dark Devil 26, aka Brendan Coach of the Marlboro Mudsdales. Kind of a cool little logo there. I enjoy it. We're going up him and his team and everything. And as you can see on the screen, he is bringing a Absol, which is not Mega, just normal Absol. Because there are no Megas in this league. Because I forgot about that till just now. Good old Piloswine. Shout out to Polymac, or Polyswine there. Flygon, the worst thing in Gen 3. Good old Florges, the thing that I hate the most. Zapdos, which is cool burb. And then Chandelure, really interesting mon to have. Which is also one of his Z users on his draft. You can see on our team, we are going to be leading off, without any further ado, with Spike Dudley, our Ferrothorn. He was another one of the ones acquired in a trade after getting into the season, a little bit after being asked to join. And we have Gyro Ball, Stealth Rock, Leech Seed, and Protect with an Aqua Berry with 252 in HP, 76 in defense, and then 180 and Sassy Nature in special defense. Was guessing more maybe trying to take a Fire Blast from the Chandelure or a Heat Wave from the Zapdos, more on the special defensive side than physically for our Ferrothorn. And with a Sassy Nature, we are hitting like 22 speed, total speed. So we're going to be hitting things pretty decently hard with Gyro Ball overall with Ferrothorn. Next we have China, our Heatran. That's Scarf Heatran with Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Earth Power, and Ancient Power. 92 in HP, 252 Modest, and then 164 in speed. And I know it's not the best decision to have Flamethrower over Fire Blast. There's just something about having that chance to miss with Fire Blast that I hate rolling the dice with. So I tend to go with Flamethrower sometimes more often than not, even if it is a little less power. It's like, I don't know if I want to do those dice rolls or not. But Heatran really is just here to pick things off as we need to, get some heavy damage done mid-game. Really, Heatran's not doing a whole lot. Like, his coverage will be able to hit a lot of his team, but it's like he's not doing so much that he's locked into all the times with what move do we have to lock ourselves into, and so on and so forth. Because really the mon that does that is the next one, Kenny Omega, our Scarf Nidoking, with Sheer Force and Earth Power, Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, T-Bolt, 36 in HP, 252 in special attack, and then 220 and Timid Nature in speed. I believe the 220 Timid is so that we guaranteed outspeed Scarf Chandelure. And basically Nidoking he's the one that we really want to wait till the end game, lock in with Earth Power, Ice Beam, or Sludge Wave, and go to town. Really, I don't really want to have to lock in with Thunderbolt that much. It was just there for water coverage, as he did on his draft have a Blastoise. So I didn't want to have to lock into that, but it's there if he brought the Blastoise. Really, Nidoking, he's the guy that we've been like having as our late game sweeper with Nidoking. He does a really good job at it. But next we have Master Lock, our Buzzsaw Leftovers, with Earthquake, Leech Life, Super Power, and Substitute, with 252 in HP, 36 in attack, 188 in Impish in defense, and then 32 in speed. Now, this Buzzsaw isn't meant to come in and hit things as hard as it can with Superpower or Superpower. It's meant to basically put up a sub, kill some of the Leech Life, and then just sit on the field. And really, with the base 139 attack, even though we're not getting Beast Boosted attack, if we're getting Beast Boosted defense boost, we're going to sit there on the field for a good while, especially if we can keep our subs up and keep going with that. That was the plan for Buzzsaw going into it. Then next we have Kyurem, our One-Winged Angel, kind of harkening back to one of our older sets with Steelium Z Flat and Z Flash Cannon, and Draco Meteor, Earth Power, and Ice Beam, 116 in HP, 252 in a special attack, and then 140 and Timid Nature. Again, outspeeding this time non-Scarf max speed Chandelures. Basically, Kyurem, he has the Steel Z so that we can hit either the Piloswine or the Florges as hard as possible. I don't think it'll like straight one-shot either one of them, but it was the fact that we need to hit those two as hard as possible. Draco is a really nice stab to have on Kyurem along with Ice Beam. Really did a good amount against his team. And then Earth Power was a nice overall thing. If we need to get a chip damage on the Chandelure, we can get that with Kyurem. And then finally we have Airborne, our tornadus-t with Life Orb, Regenerator, Hurricane, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Iron Tail with 116 in HP, 12 in attack, 224 in special attack, and then 156 in speed with a hasty nature. Basically, I wanted Tornadus to kind of lure in Florges, or be able to bring it in on Florges and not have it be so scared of, like, it can take a Sludge Wave from us, no problem, and just Wish Protect to get all its health back, or Moonlight to get its health back. But if we hit it with Iron Tail, it'll do a fuck ton more damage, and it'll scare him that much more. Plus, we can knock off the Eviolite off of his Piloswine and then hit with a really hard Iron Tail. It would be better than we would have to pack both Heat Wave and Sludge Wave to cover the both of them, while really knockoff is better to have overall, and then Iron Tail can cover both angles as decently as we can. But that's what we got for our team. You can see that he's going to lead off with his Absol, and we're going to be leading off with Spike Dudley. Spoilers already to the match, but we'll get right into that so there aren't any more spoilers for you. Okay, we're getting into the battle now, and as you can see, we're getting challenged again by Brendan, the way the game decides to do that. You see that we're, again, are leading off with the Ferrothorn, like I said a little bit earlier, and he's going to lead off with his Absol. Really, I led off with the Ferrothorn because I was like, I want to get hazards up, and I'm not that afraid of him leading off with Zapdos or Chandelure, because I can take whatever first move they want to do with me. He actually goes for the Willow first turn, and I'm like, it was an interesting play, but it definitely made sense so that Gyro Ball couldn't kill him later. I decided to just get Rocks up because he did have the Chandelure and Zapdos. I want to hurt those as hard as possible. So it made sense for him to have the Willow on the first turn, but I wasn't expecting Willow first turn. This next turn, it was interesting. He went for Taunt, and I was fucking spacing out the fact that this thing got Taunt, and I went for Leech Seed. Like, I completely forgot that Taunt lead Absol was a thing. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm burned. Gyro Ball still almost does half, so he does another Willow predicting a switch out, and I go for my Gyro Ball anyway. And we're going to see that this does around, I would say, like 46 to 48%, which a burned fucking Ferrothorn with no attack investment, that's pretty fucking good. So now he decides to switch out and not try to risk the 2 KO into his Flygon. And right now I decided to pull the double. Going out into my Heatran, and I immediately knew that I was a problem of going out into Heatran right now, but I knew I could get some good damage on him with Flash Cannon. Heatran would have done really well this battle, but I didn't want him to set up D-Dances for free with Flygon. He ended up just going right for the Earthquake. Good play on his part. I felt like I couldn't pull the double and have him then set up a D-Dance for free and then have me be fucked to try to beat this thing. I had to basically pressure him with damage. It was my own thoughts. But we do have Heatran sadly going down to that second time in a row. Heatran comes in, does nothing. But next we go into Airborne, our Torrentee, because we see that he's Life Orb and not Scarfed, so we know we're faster. He's going to switch out into his, which is this one, the Florges. Exactly what the plan was, to lure the Florges in. And I believe we went right for the knockoff here. Yes, we did. And we're going to knock off this Florges' item. I think it's, getting rid of its leftovers. But we did what we wanted to do. We lured this Florges in. And then we went and we clicked the Iron Tail. He stayed in, falling willingly, and we can see how much that Iron Tail did. It wasn't going to knock it out, but we can see how much it did. We got the defense drop as well, and it was just that was what the whole play was. And now that he knows we have Iron Tail, he knows he can't stay in with this thing. He gets his Wish up, and it's like, okay, is he going to Protect? What's he going to do? He goes for his Protect. I was going to go for U-Turn on the potential of him wanting to switch out, take the Iron Tail again, and then heal back up just to get some momentum for us. The Protect was okay, like this thing's back up to higher health, but he knows that I can simply quick Iron Tail again. So on his switch out here, he goes out into his Zapdos. I decided to really try to get some momentum for us, and I believe I went right for the U-turn after this animations and stuff. Yes, I did go right for the U-turn. Try to get some good momentum for us going forward, and I believe, if I remember correctly, I went out into, let me see here, and Kyurem. I was pretty sure I wanted to say Kyurem, but I didn't want to say it and be wrong, but I went out into Kyurem here because I'm pressuring this thing to hell and back with Ice Beam. He doesn't know if I'm Scarfed. He doesn't know what I am, so he decides to switch right back out, doesn't want to get too much damage on that, goes into his Kyurem check, I'm guessing, with the Piloswine, and I'm seeing, okay, I'm going to click Draco, because that's going to do the most damage. My mind was not going in the Florges, and if he did go in the Florges, and he thinks I'm Scarfed or something, and I can surprise him with that Steel Z, I was still okay with it. I can surprise this with Steel Z, but at this range, I wasn't killing, so I had to switch back out here. I wanted to kill that thing, but not just damage it so low. So I went into my Buzzwole, Master Lock, because that was the thing that didn't care from Earthquake or Ice move, any physical move this thing could do to me due to my spread. He gets his rocks up, which, very good point on his part. I just knew that he couldn't touch me with that at this point, so I decided to substitute. And for the second fucking game in a row, we get roared out when we quick sub. So I must forget the phasing is a thing, and he roars us into our Torn-T. Kind of a problem because he knows we have the Iron Tail. We can't surprise him with that anymore, and he knows we have knockoff. So he decides to still stay in and go for the Ice Shard. I believe he was rolling the dice to try to get a crit there to try to kill. I don't know exactly how much she thought it should have done, but I just figured he would switch out, so I was going to U-turn to try to get some momentum. We ended up getting we're going to get that health back that we're going to take from Life Orb and from good old Stealth Rock damage with Regenerator. But I go into my Feral Thorn here. I felt like he was still able to take on with Feral Thorn, and I could still click Gyro Ball and do a decent amount of damage. I could Leech Seed. I could do all those things I wanted to do with him. He decides to switch out now back into his Absol, which I thought was a little more interesting to go back into the Absol on that play. So what I decided to do, he's a lot of pressure mons, to be honest, but I decided to click the Leech Seed on the switch out, and if he wouldn't have switched out and stayed in, I would have gotten Crucial Leech Seed off on that Piloswine, really hankering that thing down to where Gyro Ball could have killed it. But I know from this range, Gyro Ball should be able to kill, and I should be able to live the majority of what moves he's going to click. So I decided to stay in. He goes for the superpower right away, which I figured he would have gone for this earlier to try to kill me. We live on 17 HP. With his attack and defense drops, we're actually going to get some Iron Barbs damage, bring him down even lower, so that this Gyro Ball will kill. And I'm really glad I got a kill with Ferrothorn with Gyro Ball. Ferrothorn, a burned Gyro Ball Ferrothorn kill. I was pretty happy with that. And we actually will survive the burn on 6 HP. So Ferrothorn here is pretty much fodder for later down the line. I can just bring him in to get good initiative and get a free switch. So here he decides to roost, and I didn't want to, again, let him get a free Dragon Dance up. And I clicked Gyro Ball again, because if he would have gone for Dragon Dance at that low health, thinking I would have switched out to keep it as fodder, that thing's dead after the speed boost, and you can see we took as much away from that roost as he could, so we really only roosted up about 25% as Spike Dudley does go down. But we still know that I can revenge him with Tornadus here. I can really do whatever I want to him with this Tornadus. And I decided to U-turn. I figured he would switch out to try to save this, but I decided to U-turn. And he stays in, takes the U-turn, lives it, and I'm switching out. I'm like, okay, what can I really afford to switch into right now? It was honestly, Kyurem was the one I could kind of the most afford to switch into out of the mons that we had left, and he actually surprised me with this play and had Fire Blast locked and loaded. I'm guessing for Kyurem, and we can see it didn't do as much. I was expecting probably Outrage would have been better, but again, he had a Fire Blast. He lived his Life Orb recoil, but it will die to an Ice Beam. Again, I didn't think I was going to be faster than him, so I just clicked Ice Beam anyway, expecting to die from a Dragon move. But I guess he didn't have that much speed investment, so we outpaced and we killed with an Ice Beam. Now he brings in the Florges, and I'm like, okay, we're going with the Z-Flash Cannon. It might not kill from this range, but it'll bring it low enough that it'll guarantee a kill from Nidoking. He switches out now into his Zapdos, I bet predicting the Z-Flash Cannon or a Flash Cannon of some sort. And we see, bringing him that low down with the Stealth Rocks earlier from Ferrothorn, I can hope that our Z-Flash Cannon here will kill this thing. It's gonna do a lot, even though it's resisted like it's a Z-move. Z-moves do a fuck ton. And it's something that's in this game, it's just like, they just do so much damage that it's hard to prep for them. And in certain leagues where you don't have like a limit to them, it's kind of hard to prep. But he ended up living this Z-Flash Cannon. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to die. He decides to go for the Extra Sensory rather than killing me with like a Heat Wave or a T-Bolt. I figured with T-Bolt would kill, and I lived the Extra Sensory, and thus Kyurem picks up another kill with Ice Beam. I don't know if he was trying to predict a switch and me having keep Kyurem in. I really had no reason to keep Kyurem around because, honestly, Scarf, Nidoking pretty much cleaned up from there. But he goes into his Piloswine here to pick me off with an Ice Shard. I'm perfectly okay with that. There's nothing really that I care about that. And at this moment, I looked at my team, and I decided I'm going to bring out Master Lock. Like, I can bring out and get one kill with Buzzwole. I can bring out and do something with Buzzwole. And what I decided to do here was just simply go for the Leech Life. I figured he would Ice Shard, so I Leech Life to get that health back. He decided not to. I don't know what move he really went for. Maybe he was thinking I was going to set up a sub and roar me back out, but I got a little bit of health back from that leech life. Not much, but a little. Maybe it would decide by 1 point if I would live an attack or not, but we see I get a defense boost, so he knows now I'm a bulky set, not a full-on physically attacking one. I'm here to sit on the field, and he goes into the Chandelure, and really I know right now I need my free switch into Nidoking. I don't need Buzzwole for anything. He's not doing anything against really anything else. I decided to let him risk the Fire Blast. He decides to hit it. It just kind of happened that way, and Master Lock goes down. If you would have missed, I believe I did lock up Earthquake to be able to kill this thing, but I go out into Nidoking. I know that even if he switches out into Florges, I two-shot the Florges with Earth Power. I killed this thing with Earth Power. Perfectly fine locking into Earth Power right now. This is what I like Nidoking for. It's the late game when there's 2 to 3 Mons that are weakened enough that I can lock into a move and two-shot anything that comes in. That's what I want Nidoking to do on this team, and we see that much damage from Earth Power after the Rocks damage. The second Earth Power will knock out his Florges. That thing's a goner. And we know all he has left is the Chandelure. It's going to have its second round of Rocks damage, so it'll be just above half health after it. And so it's like, okay, well then you're going to die to an Earth Power. If you have Scarf, great. I'm still faster due to my EV spread. I'm still faster than Scarf. He will go down to the Earth Power, and I believe that was a solid 2-0 win. I want to say all I had left, I believe, was Airborne and Nidoking. But again, solid game to Brendan. There were some plays where I was expecting something else, but it was definitely, like, again, Roar fucking fucks me over again with trying to set up subs. But anyway, go check Brendan out. His links are down in the description. Links again to Bewears merchandise, as you saw in the beginning of the video, are down in the description as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed and everything. Subscribe if you like what you see. There will be more battles, more videos, more stuff coming out in the next coming weeks. And hopefully forever. But thank you guys for coming out. If you enjoy, go and give the video a like. And I'm Carson, and this is Toxic Gaming. And as always, you guys stay toxic. We'll see you guys.